All right, listen up. My friend. Yeah, you. The one who has no idea how dangerous you actually are yet. Welcome to the part of your story where everybody thought they had you figured out. And then you did this shit. You know what's funny? They really believed you'd stay exactly where they left you. Same seat, same role, same script. They wrote you in as the background character in your own life, and then got together behind your back to discuss the limits of your potential, like they were on some kind of panel. They sat in group chats, in little secret calls, in rooms you weren't invited to, and they said things like, "They won't do anything. They're too soft. They'll never find out. Even if they do, what can they really do?" They built a whole universe of lies behind your back, and the punchline is that they never once considered the version of you I'm talking to right now. Because this version of you, this version is a glitch in their little system. Let's break it down, because you need to really see what happened. You didn't just get betrayed. This wasn't some casual, "Oops, my bad." This was planned, structured, coordinated. They studied you. They took notes on your insecurities like they were prepping for an exam. They clocked your kindness and labeled it weakness. They watched the way you second-guess yourself and marked it leverage. They knew where you'd hesitate. They knew where you'd overthink. They knew you always try to see the good in people, so they weaponized that against you. You were never overreacting. Your gut wasn't lying. The energy was off because the intentions were off. They weren't busy. They weren't confused. They weren't bad at communicating. They were plotting. You ever notice how they only suddenly check on you when they need information? "Hey, how are you? You okay?" Nah, you don't care. You're just data mining. They needed updates. They needed to know if you were starting to catch on. They needed to track your emotional state like a stock price. If you were too confident, they'd subtly knock you down. If you were too happy, they'd remind you of something painful. If you had an idea, they'd laugh at it, then go copy it somewhere else. And behind your back, they sat there saying, "Don't worry, they'll forgive. They always come back. They won't leave. They need us." That's what they planned behind your back. To use you, to drain you, to stretch your loyalty until it snapped, and then blame you for breaking. But here's the twist they never saw coming. You found out, piece by piece, tone by tone, look by look, silence by silence. You started connecting dots. You started replaying conversations. You started noticing how you always ended up feeling smaller after dealing with certain people. You went back through screenshots. You remembered words. You remembered how they laughed when your name came up in the wrong room. You remembered the jokes that felt a little too sharp. And something inside you clicked. It wasn't rage at first. It wasn't revenge at first. It was this cold, calm, surgical kind of clarity. Oh, wow. So that's how it is. That's the moment the old you started dying. Quietly, internally, no fireworks, just a switch. This is what they planned behind your back. Then you did this shit. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped oversharing. You stopped sending long paragraphs trying to fix things with people who never planned to fix anything. You stopped volunteering the blueprint of your soul to architects who were only there to demolish. You pulled your energy back so hard, it felt like an exorcism. You started answering slower. You started saying no without writing an essay. You started looking at your phone and thinking, greater than, "I actually don't owe you a damn thing." You didn't slash their tires. You didn't key their car. You did something way more violent. You took yourself out of their reach. You didn't burn their house down. You burned the bridge they used to walk into your life and rearranged the furniture. You know what really messed them up? You didn't make a dramatic announcement. No big public call-out. No, attention everyone, I am now healing and cutting people off. Speech. You just changed your behavior. That's the scariest revenge in the world. Because now they don't know. Do they know what I said? Did someone show them the screenshots? Do they know I didn't defend them? Do they know I lied? That's it. You turned their own paranoia into your silent revenge. They planned to play you, but now they're the ones checking who viewed their story. They're the ones panicking every time you're quiet. They're the ones asking mutuals, greater than, have they said anything about me? Congratulations. They're stuck in the anxiety they wanted you drowning in. Let's get a little deeper, because this part is important. They didn't just plan to betray you. They planned for you to stay broken after they did it. That was the real strategy. The goal wasn't just to hurt you. It was to damage your self-perception so badly that even when they were gone, their voice would keep talking in your head. You know that one. The one that says, maybe I am too much. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe nobody really stays. Maybe I'm hard to love. That voice isn't yours. That's them. That's every conversation, every eye roll, every backhanded comment, every time they shut you down when you tried to shine. They wanted to install a little version of themselves in your mind to keep you on a leash even after you walked away. And for a while, it worked, didn't it? You begged for closure. You replayed everything 1,000 times. You stalked their pages. You compared yourself. You cried silently at night. You wondered why you weren't enough. For people who were never even qualified to stand next to you. But then, you did this shit. You realized their rejection was not an evaluation of your worth. It was a confession of their capacity. They didn't walk away because you were too broken. They walked away because you were too real, too aware, too big for the tiny little world they feel safe controlling. At some point you stopped asking, why did they do this to me? And you started asking, why did I tolerate it for so long? That's when everything got dangerous. For them. Because now you're not focused on their story. You're dissecting your own patterns. You're looking at your childhood. You're looking at what you were taught about love. You're looking at why you keep giving people discounts who never even pay full price for basic respect. You're realizing, greater than I was trained to doubt myself. Greater than I was taught to be grateful for crumbs. Greater than I was conditioned to see my own needs as too much. And once you see that, you cannot unsee it. This is what they planned behind your back. You get hurt, you get confused, you chase them, you apologize, you dim your light, lower your standards, accept the bare minimum, and call it love, friendship, or loyalty. Then they keep access to your energy, your attention, your time, your resources, without ever having to face themselves. But instead, you did this. You finally chose you. Not the soft, performative, self-love, quote-posting version. The real version, the ugly one. The one where you cry while blocking numbers. The one where your hands shake when you say no. The one where you sit in your room and feel completely alone because you just cut off the poison you were addicted to. The version where healing doesn't look cute yet. It looks like withdrawal. People don't talk about that part. They talk about glowing up, like it's instant. No. You glowed up after you sat in the dark and realized, I would rather be alone than surrounded by people who secretly want to see me lose. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. You scared them the moment you stopped reacting. Your silence, lethal. Your distance, lethal. Your lack of access, lethal. You stopped giving them content. No more emotional breakdowns on call. No more info dumps they can forward. No more secrets. No more, I trust you more than anyone. No more backstage pass to your soul. You didn't just block them digitally. You blocked them spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You built a firewall around your peace, and now they're standing outside like greater than they changed. Good. That was the point. Let's talk about the upgrade, because that's the part everyone sees and calls luck. You took all that pain, and you did not bury it. You recycled it. You joined the gym, or you started a business, or you went back to school, or you focused on your craft, or you started therapy, or you finally launched that page, or you started reading, studying, leveling up. Maybe you didn't do anything dramatic on the outside, but inside, you started rewiring. You started replacing I'm too much with I'm not for everyone. You replaced why don't they like me with do I even like them? You replaced I hope they don't leave with if you can leave that easily, please do. You replaced I'll prove my worth with if you can't see it, that's your limitation. And slowly, the version of you that needed their approval started dying. That's the funeral they'll never attend, but they'll feel the consequences. Now let's be very clear. This is not about acting unbothered. This is about being done. There's a difference. Unbothered is an act. Done is a decision. You're not pretending it didn't hurt. You're not pretending you didn't cry. You're not pretending it didn't break something inside you. It did. But then you took the broken pieces, and instead of begging them to fix you, you learned how to use those pieces as weapons. Not against them, against your own old patterns. You started slicing through excuses. You started cutting off cycles. You started stabbing every lie you ever believed about yourself. You became your own bodyguard. And now we're here. People are noticing the shift. They can't quite explain it. You look the same, but you don't feel the same. Your eyes, sharper. Your boundaries, colder. Your energy, priceless. You're not easily impressed anymore. Someone being nice is no longer enough. Effort is the minimum. Consistency is the standard. Respect is non-negotiable. You're no longer starving for validation, so you're not eating every compliment like it's your last meal. You're not obsessed with being liked. You're focused on being aligned. You're not begging to be in rooms. You're the room. You're not chasing. You're attracting. Because you finally stopped shrinking to fit into spaces that were never built for your full size. And somewhere out there, in one of those little circles, in one of those private chats, your name still comes up. Oh, they're different now. They're acting brand new. They changed after that whole situation. They think they're better than everyone. Of course, you changed. What do they think growth looks like? You were supposed to turn into this. You were supposed to become someone that the old you would be proud of, and the old them would be terrified of. You're not better than anyone. You're just no longer willing to be worse for anyone. The most savage part of all this, you didn't seek revenge. You became it. Your peace is revenge. Your success is revenge. Your healing is revenge. Your self-respect is revenge. Your refusal to entertain the same chaos is revenge. They expected you to stay broken. They expected you to post sad quotes for months. They expected you to chase. They expected you to keep defending them when people asked, "What happened?" Instead, you shrug and say, "I outgrew it." Do you understand how brutal that is? You didn't label them as your villain. You didn't give them that importance. You just filed them under, no longer relevant to the plot. Remember the title of your little episode here. This is what they planned behind your back. Then you did this shit. This shit is not one moment. It's not one clapback. It's not one post. It's not one conversation. This shit is a collection of choices. You chose to stop explaining your worth. You chose to listen to your gut the first time. You chose to cut off access quietly. You chose to let people misunderstand you instead of begging to be seen correctly. You chose to invest in yourself like you used to invest in people who wouldn't even show up for you. You chose to turn your pain into fuel instead of chains. They planned for you to stay small. You chose to become a problem. So here you are now, on the other side of a betrayal that was supposed to break you. Still standing, still breathing, more aware, more dangerous, more intentional. You're not paranoid, you're wise. You're not cold, you're guarded. You're not bitter, you're just done negotiating your value with people who paid in disrespect. They thought they were writing your ending. They were just writing your origin story. And the best part, they haven't even seen what you do next. Because that's the thing most people miss. They really think the story ends when the hurt happens. They picture you folded up on the floor, right? Checking their page, replaying their words, stalking who they're with, all that obsessive, spiraling, late-night overthinking energy trapped in a loop around them. What they never once pictured is you sitting there in that same darkness, eyes swollen, chest tight, hands shaking. And instead of texting them, you open a notebook, you open your bank app, you open a course, you open a plan. You don't announce it, you don't post it, you don't send a threat. You just quietly decide, greater than I'm done being the one who loses every time someone can't handle me. That single thought, terrifying. Because when you shift from, I hope they regret losing me, to, I'm not losing me over them, you change the entire power dynamic of your life. Think about your day-to-day now. You wake up different. The first few days it hurts. Yeah, that ache doesn't disappear just because you got empowered. You still wake up with that little hollow in your chest. You still get random waves where your brain goes, greater than check if they texted, greater than check their story, greater than check if they moved on. And you catch yourself reaching for your phone on autopilot, like a reflex, but you stop halfway. That tiny moment where your hand hovers and then drops. That's you rewiring your entire nervous system. That's you telling your brain, we don't feed that addiction anymore. And it feels weird, uncomfortable, empty, honestly. You used to get a hit of dopamine from stalking their life, from decoding their posts, from watching who they subtweeted. Now there's just silence. And in that silence, this little voice shows up. What if we used this energy on us for once? You start doing little things that look insignificant from the outside, but are actually massive rebellions. You drink more water. You take a walk instead of scrolling through their feed. You unfollow a couple of accounts that keep you stuck in comparison. You delete a long draft message you were never supposed to send anyway. You start cleaning your space. You throw out old stuff that feels tied to them. That hoodie, that playlist, those screenshots. You're not erasing the memory. You're reclaiming the environment. Every drawer you clear out, every chat you archive, every picture you move is like tooling your subconscious. We're not living in a museum of old pain anymore. Your circle changes too. People can feel you leveling up without you saying a word. Old friends who only liked you better when you were miserable start getting uncomfortable. The ones who liked having broken you around because it made them look wise or stable or put together don't know what to do with the version of you who's actually getting grounded now. They liked you confused. They liked you apologizing. They liked you venting while they stayed neutral and non-committal. You notice the ones who never really defend you, by the way. That's another realization. The ones who sit in rooms while other people talk about you and then come back to you acting like they're above drama. You start clocking that passivity as complicity. You stop confusing their silence with peace. That changes how you move. You stop inviting everyone into your raw moments. You stop trauma dumping into spaces that don't hold you. You stop trusting people just because they've known you a long time. Longevity and loyalty are not the same thing, and it finally clicks. You get sharper with time. A new person comes around, right? They're charming. They say the right things. They tell you they're not like the rest. They mirror your pain, your story, your fears. You would have handed them the keys right then and there. Wow, you get me. No one ever gets me like this. This version of you. You take a step back. You watch how they act when you say no. You watch how they respond when you set a boundary. You watch how they handle not having instant access to your entire life. You don't just listen to what they say about other people. You watch how they say it. Are they always the victim in every story? Does every ex become crazy in their mouth? Do they hate drama while constantly being in the center of it? You're not paranoid for noticing that. You're paying attention. Your standards are no longer negotiable. Your heart is no longer a free trial. There's a version of them that exists only in your head. This idealized, polished fantasy version. You remember their best moment and loop it like a highlight reel until you forget there were entire months where you felt unchosen, unseen, or second place. At some point in this process, that reel breaks. You have a day where you're just sitting there, maybe in the shower, maybe on the bus, half distracted, and suddenly your brain pulls up a memory you'd glossed over before. The way they looked at their phone and smiled right after you poured your heart out. The way they went quiet when you asked a simple question. The way their tone changed when other people walked in. The way they always had an excuse ready, like they'd rehearsed it. And instead of romanticizing it this time, you actually see it for what it was. Not mysterious, disrespectful, not confused, calculated, not emotionally unavailable, emotionally irresponsible. You finally stop putting pretty language on ugly behavior. This is where the empowerment stops being aesthetic and starts being real. You're not just listening to motivational content, getting hyped for 10 minutes, then going right back to the same pattern. You're actively reprogramming. You catch yourself mid-thought. What if they never come back? And something inside you answers. What if they do and you don't even want them anymore? That flips the script. You stop living in this fantasy where the grand prize is them crawling back, apologizing, crying, saying, "You were right, and you were the best thing that ever happened to me." You start realizing the grand prize might actually be you, not even being emotionally available to accept them back. Not out of spite, out of evolution.